Hello my dear Pisces, welcome to Mind Body Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of April for Sun, Moon and Rising sign in Pisces. This is a general reading. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And please do check also the videos for the other signs that are strong in your chart, like your Moon and Rising sign. I pre-shuffled your cards already. Now let's see what are the messages for my dear Pisces for the month of May 2019. Four of Swords, Horse, okay, and the Three of Pentacles. Four of Swords keeps popping up. Maybe we all finally getting some peace of mind. The Fool, how beautiful. Alright, what else we have for my dear Pisces for the month of May 2019. Beautiful, absolutely. Oh my god, the Fool and the Ace of Cups right after another, and bottom of the deck you have the Two of Pentacles. But yes, I see this World card that I feel like it's really relevant to this reading. Usually I just like pop it out like this, I don't really look, but this time it really got my attention, so I will take it out with it. Pisces, this is beautiful. Yeah, seems like May is a good month for you, energetically speaking. Of course, it's up to you what you make of this energy, but the energy is very supportive of your pursuits here. And it has to do with choices. It has to do with your balancing out your emotions. And it has to do with a lot of faith. Yeah. Alright, let's clarify these cards here. Let us clarify these cards for my dear Pisces for the month of May. Alright, we have the Two of Wands with the Four of Swords. Okay, I'm just going to put this like this to separate. This is your theme. That's why I keep it separated. Alright, so you have the Two of Wands with the Four of Swords. You have the King of Swords with the Three of Pentacles. Beautiful. Seriously? What am I supposed to do with all these? Eager to talk the cards for you today. I do feel that all these three cards are for the Fool, so I'm just gonna take them for the Fool. The Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords. I'm just gonna put them here, and I'm gonna go through that later. Clarified this Ace of Cups, fantastic, and bottom of the deck you have the Tower. Alright. Damn, Pisces, there is a lot going on in here. But it's beautiful. Don't freak out at this Tower here. It's beautiful. So you have this Two of Pentacles. That was the first energy that popped out as your underlying energy, as your theme, and it comes along with this this World card that's just kind of tagged along with it. And I think it's a completion and a learning, something that you've learned and finally can move on from that, having to do with balancing out emotions and balancing out too many tasks at the same time, kind of like jumping from one foot to another with different activities and tasks that were maybe a little bit destabilizing, really. But yeah, you've learned how to handle it. You've learned how to make the choices that needed to be made in order to bring on like more stability on your physical and emotional realm. This is what I'm getting with these two cards together. And the Tower coming in here with tag along with these energies, which by the way these are coupled. This is kind of coming as explanatory for both of these, that this process of completion, it brings you awareness of how you've been struggling this much because of your ignorance, really. Sorry. Because something that you could not see, you were kind of like holding yourself too rigid in this ivory tower, that you needed it. Yes, you had to build this tower to build your foundation, but this tower was kind of like not really fitting the real world, and it was crumbling anyway. That's why you were struggling so hard to really balance out things, because your life was sort of built up until now on some principles that didn't quite make sense. You see, this tower is square, and this like top, this crown thing was round. They didn't really fit. So when you have this like lightning striking here, this tower, and you have this like people falling here into, I think it's water down there somewhere, they kind of need this because their worldview did not really fit. So I see it as a very, very positive tower. I don't see anything like crazy truly coming out into your life, but I do feel like your worldview is changing quite dramatically, and you are learning a lot from the World card. You're moving on to the next cycle. And this can't be like more enforced by the rest of the cards here. It's just like, wow, it's intense. Anyway, you're learning that you have choices that you didn't see before. You're learning also that you don't need to make the first choice that comes into mind. You can take your time. You can take your time to think through your choices and to see what your choices are about and what you can make out of it. You're learning that you have the freedom to choose much more than you thought before. Maybe before you were like seriously considering that you were forced to live your life like this, from this very like juggling attitude, juggling with I don't know, paying your bills, juggling how are you going to actually show up in emotionally for yourself and for others, juggling everything at the same time. But now I think you're starting to understand that you have the power to choose how you really want to live your life. And you couldn't see it before because, yeah, you just didn't have the we all come from ignorance, and we all coming from this place where we believe the world to be in a very certain way, in a very particular way. We feel like somehow the world happens to us. But this lightning strikes you in the head and kind of like opens you up to this new view of the world. And there you go, you're holding your world in your hand here, and you're holding this wand here in your hand, as of a clear awareness of the choices that you're gonna make. And you look at the world in your hand, and you're looking at the world out there, and you're realizing that what you focus on and the choices that you make models your inner world as well as your outer world. What you focus on, what you put your energy in, what kind of thought patterns are you entertaining, and what are the what's the other way around? But what are the beliefs that you give power to? Yes, and this comes with this like Three of Pentacles, with the King of Swords here. And in this case, I think this Three of Pentacles means that you are growing your network. You are growing your... you learn how to... communicate and how to collaborate and how to relate really to actually people from other walks of life. And this is something that you Pisces tend to be pretty good at, because you know your sign, you being Pisces, kind of like you have traits from all the other signs, and that allows you to easily relate, or easier rather than other signs, relate to pretty much everyone out there. You can find some sort of common ground. And but now you're like, there's some element of awareness and communication, and it may very well be with having different aspects of yourself coming together and having the talk. You know, we can sometimes be... Well, we all have different aspects of the self and different personalities, kind of like inside. When sometimes we are aware of them, sometimes we're not aware of them. Sometimes we have this, we live in this ignorance, thinking that I have a very solid idea of myself and who I am. But actually, the self is not solid. The self is ever changing, and it's changing with the embodiment of different aspects and different energies that are present at a time. And who I am at office is different than who I am at home, and who I am at home is different than who I am when I'm with my buddies and with my mates, and who I am with my closest inner circle is very different with who I am when I'm actually hanging out with acquaintances and just like people that I like to party with, maybe, or just like, you know, the levels of superficiality and depth that I can go through can vary a lot, and a different persona is created every time I am relating to someone else. So there is no solid self. Who I think I am can be very diluted. Therefore, different aspects of myself, I'm starting seeing them, I'm starting observing them. With this King of Swords here, I'm starting like having like mental clarity, and I enable communication here. This is what I think it's happening to you in a way. You're allowing like these different aspects of the self. First of all, you acknowledge them, which is fantastic. Please do that. We all need to do that. You acknowledge your choices, and you acknowledge your actions, and you acknowledge different aspects of yourself that have different needs and different ways of expressing themselves, and you allow space for them, and you allow them to have the talk. Sometimes we have like dualities. There's a two here, and there's another two, like different aspects of ourselves being in imbalance and being in a little bit of a opposite front here, and inner conflict. When there don't seem much conflict happening in these cards, but anyhow, It's good to be able to enable this conversation, and this is how you start building up something much bigger than yourself, which is not that solid self. It's a fluid understanding of the world and of the self. And bam, you have the Fool. The Fool with the Ace of Pentacles, new beginning. The Fool is like one of the nicest energies in the deck. The Fool is someone who's light and joyful and has full faith in the fact that he doesn't need to know everything. He doesn't need to know the next step in order to enjoy life. He lives in the present moment, and he does not carry baggage. He's going out there full of enthusiasm and full of joy to discover the world out there. He's holding this like white rose in here, which signifies purity, and there's this white dog. In some decks the dog is black, but in this case is white, which means that he's got like he's not alone in his journey. He feels guided and protected because he trusts the universe. He trusts the process. He trusts that if he keeps a light heart, an open heart, and a light mind, allows the mind rest, don't overthink, don't try to control the situation all the time. Wherever the life takes him is where he needs to be. And he's perfectly fine with that. He's willing to accept the experience, whatever that experience is to come. Because he knows that this is the experience that he needs to have in order for himself and his soul to grow. And it comes with like this army of cards here. The Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. And the Ace of Pentacles, it's a new venture. It's a new opportunity. It's like the opportunity for real change in your present reality. It's real change. It's something that you can grasp. It's something that you can see. It's something that will bring some sort of abundance to you. It can be material abundance, but it can very much be just understanding that this light attitude allows you to attract the opportunities that you need. Because everything becomes an opportunity now. An opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to grow your garden. And I think you're learning now about how much you can give and take, and how to balance the give and take into your life between your relationships, and whether it's on a more material realm, having to do with finances and stuff, or whether it's emotionally speaking, emotional support. Yeah, how much you can give and take in your relationship, and communication of that. Moving forward with life, moving forward with everything. Because you've learned this lesson, now you can move forward. Now you can go towards this complete new beginning. This is a clean slate. You start again. You start anew, and with a lot of like speed and enthusiasm for new experiences, and for unraveling the truth out there, and the truth within, the true nature of the self, the true nature of the universe. If that's a little bit too much, I'm sorry. Those are big words, but you can relate to them in different ways, of course, to your understanding of the world and of your world. But yeah, balancing out this give and take, balancing out this how much do you have the responsibility? How much responsibility do you really have? Were you giving too much or taking too much before? Well, now you're learning about this, and you're learning how to communicate your needs, and you're learning how to say no when things become too much. This is the nights are ruled by the drive of expansion, and this is a very expansive energy. And the Knight of Swords, of course, has to do a lot with communication, clear out communication. Maybe a little bit abrupt, so be mindful there in your communication about your boundaries and about how much you can give and take. Be gentle, but please do communicate. don't, because this is like really great knowledge for you, and a great opportunity for you to start anew, to move into the world from a very, very different perspective. And this is the bliss of the Tower, to be honest, and the world. This is why I rarely see the Tower as something negative. Yes, it is uncomfortable most of the times, but for some of us, some of us even learn to look forward to these moments, because we are finally, I can leave that behind. Finally, I can move out of this paradigm that doesn't really serve me. Yes, I need to revisit again all my value system, but I can do this. In the karmic tarot, the Tower is considered to be the grace of God, the grace of divinity. Is the next lesson in life. It's the lesson that we've learned through our experience. And yeah, you have this Ace of Cups coming right after the Fool and right after this Ace of Pentacles, which is a rebirth, which is a opening of your heart. You're opening your heart towards yourself. You're opening the hearts towards peace, peaceful emotions, peaceful love. It can be love in all its forms, but it can very well be unconditional love. It can all very well be because you see this cup is overpouring here, so it's love that comes from within and goes out into the world. If you've been looking for love outside of yourself, you're pretty much learning, I suppose, with all this experience and all this awakening that's coming here, that the love is within you, and the more you can allow yourself to nurture yourself from that inner love and be your own parent, be your own lover, be your own supporter, be your own advisor, and trust in your emotions and in your love and in your trust everything. Do not fence up like this dude does here. It's okay to stand up for your beliefs. It's okay to protect yourself, your environment, and your world. It's okay to put boundaries, but don't get stuck in defensiveness, because if you become defensive, it means that we're operating from a place where we can't be open. We can't be open to new experiences. We can't be open to life. We can't be open to love. So yes, keep boundaries, but don't fence up. Don't build up another tower like this. Be lighter and flexible and have this. When I'm saying be, okay, sorry, it's more about allow this into yourself, because it's happening already. It's happening. And you may have this normal tendency of fencing up a little bit, because this is a lot going on. This is really fluid. This is ooh, so much novelty that it can freak us out. Just okay, wait, what? in the constant here. But the constant is love. That's it. The constant is love. That's the only constant in life. Everything else is impermanent. Everything else is ever changing. Everything else is a new adventure. And you can learn to see this as an opportunity rather than something distressful. There we go, Pisces. This is just beautiful. I really hope that this makes sense to you and that this message helps you. If you resonate with this message, please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, spread this newfound love out there into the world, because we are all very much in need of this deep understanding of true unconditional love that comes from within, not comes from a need. That's fantastic. Yes, so I'll have an amazing May, Pisces, and I'll see you here next time.